Beautiful shot of the Ochre Mountains right next to the stadium. Let's check out the lineups for the 4-4 host Utah Warriors presented by Lee's Marketplace.
2 changes and a shift for Utah in the engine room as Uhila moves into the second row alongside 50-cap Warrior Matt Jensen, last week's MLR Player of the Week. Frank Lahore drops back to flanker after scoring a try and making 14 tackles, which moves Tuivau to 8 and Nell to 7. Only one change in the back line with Isaiah joining the starting lineup and inside center. He'll be an option outside scrum half Kieran McClay, who was also named in the MLR First 15 team last week. Head coach Greg Cooper and his team are coming off those back-to-back wins. They're a team who's definitely in form right now and on the upside, but today is the real litmus test for them as they meet the Western Conference powerhouse SaberCats.
Speaking of, now time for the starters for the 7-1 visiting Houston SaberCats presented by Platypus Brewing.
3 changes for the forwards for Houston. Den Hoot steps into the second row as captain for the usual captain Momsen, who's on the bench this afternoon or this evening. Albert starts at 7, moving Nasagenge to 6. And local Houston youngster Seth Smith gets his first start at just 18 years old after earning MLR Team of the Week honors last week.
Boys, time you're on!
And they have done well owning the series 6-5, but tightly contested. 9 of the 11 decided by 1 score. Will tonight be the same? Inside the 22 we begin.
Third time's a charm, maybe for the Cats. Let's see what the Warriors can do here to stop them.
They've got 3 penalty tries this year, including last week against San Diego.
That's once!
Seth Smith emerging, dives in, and he scores. Seth Smith scores the try. Back-to-back games for the teenager in the try zone, and Houston is up 8-0. Ball gets wide now. Alatimu finding some space, lots of space on the outside. Tassi, and then dotted down by the Houston SaberCats.
He's checking it. We had advantage, so.
Advantage was being played.
Red hot. That was about an 80 to 90 meter turn of events for them off that kick that found the grass in the midfield. And on the other end of the field, they end up with this try off that offload, just making it look too easy.
Warner, Alatimu, inside. Nice tackle by Dylan Nell. The dummy by Wild spins and turns and dots it down. Drew Wild with his first try of the season. And Houston is pouring it
all the way back to this. It's an overthrow by Sushan and straight into the hands of the opposite hooker, Seth Smith, who just goes on a one-way track straight ahead. Look at this. Straight out of the air. Doesn't even change his line, just goes straight forward into Paul Mullen. Still gets good leg drive past Paul Mullen. And then here we go. Here's that switch back inside, gets some good go forward again. Great tackle though from Nell. And then this one here, Wild just shows to the outside. And then Kieran McClay misses that tackle. And Drew Wild spins off him.
Advantage!
Advantage, Sushan on the 1 meter line.
Short!
Just still short. Matt Jensen now with an opportunity. Lyndon Muth holds him up. Utah thinks they're in, and they are. The Utah Warriors score.
He was the player of the week last week for the MLR. He had 14 tackles in their win over DC and a try as well. Just adding to that tally tonight. Just going to work here are the Utah Warriors. Nothing fancy about it, nothing flashy, just pick and go, constantly punching into the Saber.
Tuivau with the good clean out. Utah inside the 22. With lots of numbers. Hodgson, direct run off the Jensen, goes backwards, grabs it, goes towards the try zone and scores. What a play by the USA Eagle Matt Jensen.
They were not going to spoil this one. 2 players off for Houston, so you've got a 2-player advantage. And man, the Warriors are just playing fast. They threw that ball infield real quick off that kick downfield. Hodgson finds the gap, and then Jensen, how about this? Those are basketball skills. We saw him box out earlier.
That's scrum half now. Grandson of Sid going. 2 grandsons of All Blacks with Frank Lahore and Zion going. Interception! Dom Makita is going to go all the way. The pick 5 for the SaberCats, who needed it down 2 men in the bin. What a play.
The other way for Houston. I think it was Tassi, though, the outside center. And how about this time, though? Just picks that one off, taps it up into the air, showing some of his own basketball handling skills that time. Not to be outdone by Matt Jensen previously with tapping that ball to himself a little bit, but just races down the sideline. Hodgson keeps him in the corner, which might prove to be very important. So good hustle from Hodgson.
6 minutes and change left in this one. Utah down 12. Houston trying to get to 8-1. Hodgson. Bill Bradford's going to pierce that defense and dot it down, and we've got a game. 29-22. Conversion pending for Utah, trying to come back.
Absolutely is, and what a line from the reserve hooker that time, Billy Bradford. Look at that, right off the shoulder of the number 12, Isaiah. I mean, look at this, just right through that gap, right inside Alatimu, straight as can be, right over the line.
Can they kick into touch and end it? And that is it. Houston has survived at Utah. 29-24. 8-1 for the SaberCats, and Utah's comeback attempt is thwarted.